If you like Downton Abbey, you'll love the Anglophile channel.
Well, thank you very much, Gareth Neame. That's the executive producer of Downton Abbey, giving the Anglophile channel a shout out. So welcome to another episode of the Downton Dish. I'm Marlise.
And I'm Elyse.
And we're not in the kitchen this week. Elyse is very happy.
I had flour where I shouldn't have flour.
Oh my.
But it was so worth it. We got some good scones out of it.
We did. We had a great time. So we'll be doing a lot more of that in coming episodes. But this week, we have 2 engagements to celebrate.
Yes, we have.
Shall we toast to the happy couple? 2 engagements.
2 happy couples.
Atticus finally proposed.
Yes, in a cupboard.
Yes.
Which was adorable.
Well, they had just gotten over a really uncomfortable dinner with the family that we'll talk about later.
Rose. Darling Rose. Will you marry me?
Both actors have such good chemistry. They were just looking at each other and beaming, and it was such a sweet scene. It was,
so we can't wait to see Rose as a bride. You know she's going to be gorgeous.
Oh yes, if it all comes off.
Yes, I'm sure it will.
Because as she said, her mother's the tough nut.
Yes.
And his father and Atticus said they would knock them against each other.
Lord and Lady Sinderby. So they're invited to Downton for dinner. And he's, you know, he's a little gruff because his son is in love with a shiksa. Speaking of Lord Sinderby, the actor that plays him, James Faulkner, we got to speak to him. We caught up with him at the BAFTA tea.
Hello! James, you're on with the Downton Dish. Well, can you tell us what's going to happen with Lord on Downton Abbey this year?
I can't tell you a great deal because Julian Fellows would have me shot, unnecessarily. But I do bring, I think it's safe to say, a different dynamic to the show, in that my character, Lord Sinderby, makes a living in business and is a banker. The Crawleys do not have to make a living. They are self-made people. They're 3 generations out of Odessa, and they are enormously wealthy. And they have an influence within British society, but it's a wholly different dynamic to that of the Crawleys, and therefore, you know, they're rather suspicious of him. As that's understandable.
No, we haven't been able to see it yet in the United States, but I hear you're quite featured in the Christmas special.
Well, let's say the character is pivotal within the Christmas special. That is certainly true. But I think I'm in 4 episodes, and I start with like 1 line, and then the next episode I've got a couple of scenes, and in the next episode I'm at the center of it, and in the Christmas special he's a pivotal character.
So he was wonderful to speak to.
He was a delight to talk to. I enjoyed that.
Yes, he gave us a few hints about how his character grows as the episodes go on.
So, but another engagement.
Yay!
Yay! Lord Merton and Isobel.
Yes, and she did a little clap and then announced it at the dinner. And everyone seemed thrilled except the poor dowager.
The dowager seems a little sad, and we find out later that, you know, everybody's been thinking, well, she disapproves because Isabel's going to become a great lady of the county and rise above her
station.
But that's not it at all. She's going to lose a friend.
I've got used to having a companion, a friend, you know, someone to talk things over with.
Well, you'll still have us.
You have your own lives, and so you should.
So yeah, that's going to be sweet. I hope it all works out for them. But as we see later on,
I know. So we're all excited about the engagement, Lord Merton and Isobel.
Yeah.
So they decide to have an engagement dinner at Downton,
and then we meet the sons.
Yeah.
Will you go, Larry? I had to make excuses for your rudeness the last time you sat at this table.
I know the choice of in-laws is eccentric in this family. You already boast a chauffeur, and soon you can claim a Jew, but even so...
Why don't you just get out, you bastard?
And suddenly we've slipped into a foreign tongue.
They were so unpleasant and nasty. We just want them gone.
Mr. Molesley comes downstairs after the horrible, terrible dinner party and tells everybody what happened upstairs.
Yes, he's gossiping.
And the language, and Mrs. Hughes says, don't use that language in front of the maids.
She doesn't want the language in front of the maids.
So, which is sweet.
That is very nice. Well, all very proper and etiquette and everything.
Yeah, well, she is responsible for the maids
and
their moral conduct.
Exactly.
She doesn't want another little problem with...
Ooh, what was that maid's name?
I can't even remember
now.
now.
What was her name?
It was Ethel.
Ethel, do you remember Ethel?
So it's time for another edition of
Poor Edith.
I know. Poor Edith.
Well, the Dowager decides it's time.
Yes, well,
it's time to tell Cora.
At the end of the last episode, she rushes off to Yew Tree Farm, gets the scoop. Then she calls Rosamond in. They decide it's time to tell Cora. Finally,
and Cora is none too pleased about
No, and I
being
don't
kept
blame
in the dark.
her.
I don't blame her at all. They decide to go to London in search of Edith, and where should she be but at the publishing company?
Which Atticus finally brings up, you know.
But she didn't try that hard to get lost.
No, but then Edith is acting really spoiled and bratty.
Very persnickety.
Come to me for dinner.
No.
Very well, then we'll discuss it now in front of your new employees and give them something to chew on.
There is a tea room at the end of the street.
So they go to the tea shop at the end of the road.
Exactly.
And, you know, Cora has her plan and everything, which is a little far-fetched.
So they propose that Edith stage this sort of fake adoption that the Drews can't afford to raise their child, so they're just going to hand her off to Edith. So, and Lady Mary, of course, just says, can't she just give them money? Speaking of Lady Mary...
Oh, what a tangled web.
I know. You know, Lady Mary, Charles says, likes to keep all her beaux enthralled.
Yeah, and tugs on his string.
Exactly. She's sort of like, you know, doesn't want them, but she wants them to want her.
But they're, you know, bringing in all of these little moments between Tony and Mabel Lane Fox. And you see that they really do have an interesting little relationship going.
I think Tony wanted to be well rid of Lady Mary, but he didn't do it because of honor. He was standing by her because after all, they went off on their little mini break and, you know, did the little dirty deed.
So Charles and Mary and kind of Tony are trying to get Miss Lane Fox in the whole scheme of things.
Well, the phone call went. Charles tells Mary that Mabel's come up with an idea. Just come to London. So they concoct the scenario where they're going to stage a kiss that Tony will happen upon.
Kiss me. Now. Very good.
Mary, what are you doing here?
So what did you think of the film?
Tony looks relieved when he comes out and sees them making out. Tony looks relieved. He's like, you didn't have to stage a tableau.
Yes.
I love that.
Which really they did, and Mary said they did. And then Mary said, well, I'm a bit sad, which I thought was hysterical.
She's a bit sad, but she's still happy that she did it. But you know what? Blake is going away. Tony's going to marry Mabel. And guess who's going to be all by her little lonesome?
Mary.
Got a little too persnickety. How about little Daisy?
Oh,
Lovely young Daisy.
Daisy, you know, you remember those days when you'd see the headlines and you're like, oh, why bother? Why bother?
I know, so disappointed in the Labour government. She is.
And she's always going to be, you know, under the thumb of the man.
Exactly. And wanting to give up her studies. Until they decide to take her to...
But here's Barrow, who seems to have turned a new leaf.
Why don't you go with them? Sure, her ladyship wouldn't mind.
What's it to you?
Oh, you did me a good turn when I'd done you a bad one. So I think you deserve a treat.
He's right, it would do you good.
So who is this guy?
Here's the question again. Barrow, good guy, bad guy. Which side of the fence does he want to fall on? What do we think this week?
I don't know.
But
he was really nice this week.
He's trying to be helpful this week. So
he looked a little healthier. That was
Daisy
good to
does
see.
go off to the Mason's farm.
Yes. And they have a good talk and a good gossip in the wagon, which was cute.
Exactly. And I think what's going to happen with Daisy is eventually when she leaves Downton Abbey, and how many more times are we going to hear, times are changing, we're not going to have butlers anymore, we're not going to have this anymore, times are changing. But I think eventually when the times do change and there's no more staff, I think she'll end up at the farm with Mr. Mason running the farm for him.
She could run the farm shop in a, you know, with a stately manner open to the public or something, the way they do at Chatsworth House. That would be cool.
But sadness has come to Downton Abbey in the form of Isis.
I cried.
Isis has cancer.
You know,
what?
I was upset when Lady Sybil died. I was really upset.
That was awful.
I was shocked when Matthew died, but when Isis is laying there sick, I'm crying a river. I look over at my husband, his face is all red. I see a tear coming down. We have these moments because we're both softies. I just hand the Kleenex box over.
Oh my gosh.
And we're just sniffling. We're crying about Isis. And you
Lord
see them with the
walking
dog
around,
in the bed,
carrying the dog. And
Pretty sure she won't last till morning, and I don't want her to be frightened.
Then lay her here between us, and she'll know she has someone who loves her very much next to her.
And if it hadn't been for Isis diverting his attention, who knows if they would have gotten Marigold in the nursery.
That's true.
And then little Sibby comes over and pets the dogs. Sibby! Oh goodness! Branson and Sibby go off and play poo sticks by the river.
Branson is definitely wanting to leave Downton Abbey. He must have a huge career happening, Alan Leach, who we absolutely love, who we talked to earlier in the season.
And has been a mainstay in Julian Fellowes'
I hate to see him leave, so he has this beautiful scene with Sibby over on a bridge overlooking the pond. And he says to her, we're going to go off to Boston. And she keeps saying, why? He says, well, we're going to start a new life. Why?
But you know, that leaves the door open.
Why?
Yeah, we'll miss them. It leaves the door open if they want to come back, though.
Absolutely.
I hope to God I'm doing the right thing.
The Bates are saying, dare we dream again?
Can we plan?
Can we plan? And then he says something interesting because they're trying to have a baby. And he says,
you don't suppose there's anything wrong with us, do you?
No. I think it takes some people longer than others. That's all.
What would I do without you?
So another amazing Downton Abbey episode.
Which makes me even more excited for the next episode.
I know. I can't wait for the weddings. I can't wait to see if Lady Mary finds another beau. Can't wait.
How is Marigold going to fit in at Downton? Is she going to be discovered as
exactly?
Edith's
So
daughter?
much to look forward to. But as you know, we are not in the kitchen this week. Which makes Elyse very happy. But we received so many comments and tweets from you guys. Everybody absolutely loved our scone episode.
Thank you.
We weren't able to show you everything. There were quite a bit more happened in the Downton Dish kitchen. So we're going to show you some outtakes. Take a look. Did you get her going in there, putting it in there?
It's still on.
We have to have enough time for curdles. What's curdles? What is curdles?
It's when it curdles.
Can we wait until we finish taping, Ma, and then we'll look for your shoes, okay?
Gonna do an egg wash?
Oh, I don't have eggs. I don't have eggs. Okay.
I think we've just laid one. But yeah, showing up for the running the point to point, which looked like so much fun. Didn't it look like fun?
So apparently I shouldn't have a drink in my hand while we're filming the Downton Dish.
But I should have an umbrella.
So time for comments and tweets.
Yay!
Okay, would you like to start?
Yes, Hurricane Carrie. Yum, London scones, US scones. Why is that? Also, Lady Mary needs to back off. I'm Team Edith here.
Martha Leaf. I'm making raspberry white chocolate scones tomorrow. It's her first time. Martha, you have to send us a picture and we'll share it on the dish.
Here's another one about Edith. It's Edie North. It says, I can so empathize with Edith. Not only am I a middle sister, but my name is Edith. Oh, and I do have a sister Mary, but she's much nicer than that other Mary.
Joanne Gulpin says she was awake at 3 a.m. and decided to watch the Downton Dish. I like big scones. You were a big hit, Elyse. Everybody loved I Like Big Scones. It's in my head now, she says, thanks, Elyse. I love the dish, love the outfits. Woohoo! Dawn Stromberg, your Downton Dishes are as entertaining as the show itself.
Oh, nice, thank you. Fluffy pictures. I'm in love with your outfits and have to admit I'm watching this without having had the chance to see season 5 in Germany. Where's Elise's golden headband from? It's lovely. Charming Charlie. It's a.
Oh, yes.
You can get it. There are things online at charmingcharlie.com.
They have cute things at Charming Charlie.
They're
I like
cute
that.
And they're reasonable.
Kathy Womack says, today I found your great show. She's a new viewer. Yay, welcome, Kathy. She says, as we often say in Texas, what a hoot the two of you are. Love, love, love Downton Abbey. And in retrospect, my favorite line of all time came from Lady Mary when she says, I'll do it. I don't mind lying.
I remember that line.
I remember too.
Almost Crazy Mommy said, almost felt bad for Edith until her outburst over Mary getting her hair cut. Sympathy went out the door.
Jennifer Golson loved the whole upstairs, downstairs theme, enjoyed the show. And Stacy Glover said, you ladies are so entertaining. A perfect Monday companion to Sunday night's Downton Abbey. That's so sweet. Thank you. So thank you all for your comments and tweets. We really appreciate it. We love your comments. We love knowing that you're out there and watching the show. It's really encouraging, isn't it?
It is, and thank you so much for continuing to share the Downton Dish with your friends and on your pages. We really, really appreciate it.
And to reward you, we like to give stuff away. So here we go. This week's giveaway, teapot with all your names in it. Remember, if you leave a comment and we don't read it, doesn't mean your name doesn't go in the teapot. Everybody's name is in the teapot.
Okay.
And what are we giving away?
The scone mix that we made last week. And I hope it all ends up a little more neatly in your kitchen.
And you'll be getting a picture of the Downton Dish hosts along with that scone mix. Maybe the flour one, huh?
Yes.
Okay, Elyse, go ahead. Pick a name.
We're going to the very bottom. Who have we got here? Edie North.
Edie North.
Yes. Yay. Congratulations. The scone mix is yours.
Now you have to make the scone mix and then take a picture and send it back to us.
I hope you like big scones.
I like big scones and I cannot lie.
That's enough, Daisy. Come and carry the spotted dick.
Today's giveaway is going to be... Elyse has got the spotted dick in her hands.
At least I'm wearing gloves.
And along with this week's giveaway, we are, for the next 3 episodes, going to be giving away a Downton Dish, signed by Elyse and I. A Downton Dish, which is the actual official Downton Abbey dishes that you can get at World Market. You might find yourself asking, how do I win spotted dick? And the Downton Dish, collectible because it's signed. Well, leave your comment below this video or you can tweet us at #SpottedDick Downton Dish. #Downton Dish. And your name will go in the teapot, and next week we will be pulling a name out for the spotted dick and the Downton Dish.
That's enough, Daisy. Come and carry the spotted dick.
Thank you so much for joining us once again on the Downton Dish. Join us next week as we go on location to the Rose Tree Cottage in Pasadena, California.
It's one of our favorite tea houses in the world, I think.
Yes. It's beautiful. You're going to love it. So thank you once again. I'm Marlise.
And I'm Elyse.
And you've been watching the Downton Dish.